Hi, everyone. How are you today? So good to see everyone here. Thank you for joining Thursdays with Thren, connecting with your divinity within. I'm so honored to spend this time with you each week on Thursday or whenever you're catching this replay. And welcome to my YouTube channel where these videos go to live after they're live on Facebook. My YouTube channel is Divinity Within Connection. And I believe I have a link here that you can follow that. If you ever want to rewatch a session or there's a topic that you need at a later date, they'll all be there for you. And I'm so glad to have them there so that we can go back to them. I love hearing from you, those that are joining live and watching the replay. I'd love for you to drop a comment and let me know where you're joining from or anything that you'd like to share or talk about. I'd love to sit with whatever topic is on the top of your heart today. And Spirit guided me to talk tonight and open the conversation tonight about speaking and living your truth and maybe a potential path to daily peace. And so I just feel like this is so helpful in this time where a lot of people are experiencing a lot of changes in their life. And sometimes something that we've done forever, one day we just wake up and maybe that just doesn't feel so aligned anymore. So, how do we speak and live our truth even as it feels like and is continually changing? Which, by the way, that is a beautiful thing to continue to grow and change as we continue down our path. We're all evolving, becoming better versions of ourselves every moment of every day. So, have you ever? I know that I used to be so guilty of this, saying, "Oh, I'm fine," when I really wasn't. Or have you maybe recently or ever agreed to something and then your stomach dropped or you felt not so great? Well, that feeling your body is telling you, that's your truth gently trying to get your attention, but that doesn't really feel in alignment. So today we're going to explore what it means to speak and live your truth and why this might be one of the most loving practices that you can offer yourself for creating daily peace. So there's a few different perspectives, but as I was pondering on this earlier, I kind of broke it down into a spiritual perspective, a health perspective, and a practical perspective. And so, from a spiritual lens, speaking your truth is all about honoring your divinity within. When we suppress our truth, we're dimming our own light, and you are meant to shine. And there's many spiritual traditions across all sorts of teachings that say that we're here to express our unique essence. That's why we're here. It's our soul's song, our soul's dream is to come and be uniquely ourselves and experience life through this version that we are right now. And living in alignment with your truth is living in alignment with your purpose. Even if you don't feel like you always know what that is, your truth will lead you there. It's a sacred act of self-love and honoring the gift you are when you honor what's true to you and you follow that in your life. From a health perspective, our bodies are so wise. Like I was just mentioning, the moment, and sometimes even right before something happens, maybe a conversation that's coming up and you're anticipating it, your body's already responding. They speak to us constantly. And when we suppress that truth, or do anything we can do to get rid of that sensation, our body is holding that tension. And research has shown, and I've lived it personally, that when we regularly hold back our authentic feelings, it can contribute to anxiety, depression, physical symptoms, pain in your body. Your nervous system is designed to relax when you feel safe and authentic. So, speaking your truth is not just about emotional wellness, it's a form of self care. It nurtures your whole being from a health perspective, you know? Thank you. And from a practical perspective, living out of alignment with your truth can feel like carrying an invisible weight. It's like trying to be in two places at once, who you really are and then who you think you should be, with the mask on, the mask that everybody loves. But it's not you, it's sitting on top. That takes so much energy. And when you give yourself permission to live in integrity with your truth, something really beautiful happens. Decisions feel clearer, relationships deepen, and you have more energy for what truly matters. You begin to attract experiences and people that resonate with the real you, because that is what you're living, and that's the energy you're putting out into the world. And that's what comes back to you. As long as you're hiding behind the mask of what you think you have to be to make certain people happy, you're probably just going to keep attracting those people to make happy. It's more important to be happy with yourself, right? So let's talk about recognizing misalignment, because sometimes we wear this mask for so long, we adopt it, we think it's us, we have no clue. But if we listen to our body's gentle whispers, our bodies, our intuition, our bodies are always communicating with us. And those physical whispers, whether your chest feels tight or your stomach starts doing somersaults or crazy stuff, your breathing is shallow and fast, or there's tension in your shoulders, or emotional signals, feeling drained after interacting in some places or situations, a sense of heaviness, or if you notice resentment building, you're doing everything for everyone, and maybe you're not feeling the reciprocity, and leads towards resentment, and you start noticing that. Or mental patterns, finding yourself over explaining for your choices, giving 5,000 reasons why you can't do something, and just instead of some of the things that we're going to talk about here shortly, I've got some verbiage that I like to use, so I wanted to share it. Um, or you replay conversations over and over and over, or you feel stuck making decisions. Those are mental patterns that are telling you that you're not in alignment with your truth, because you're spending all this energy trying to control, trying to figure things out, trying to keep everybody else happy. And behavioral signs, start procrastinating on things that really matter because you're too busy doing things for others, or things that are not as nourishing for you but nourishing for others, or avoiding situations, or reaching for comfort in ways that don't truly nourish you. um, you know Numbing behaviors, or endlessly you know funneling your attention outside of places that are nourishing. you know and then repetition patterns. Do you find yourself talking about the same thing, kind of complaining about a situation, but you haven't decided to take loving action for yourself? You've just been talking about what's going on. It's not signs that anything's wrong with you. These are invitations. These are your body's ways of saying things don't feel real clear right now. It's funny how my allergies are going along with not feeling really clear right now, but I am in a good, clear space, I assure you. Spirit, you're so funny. They're invitations to check in, okay? We're all perfectly imperfect. So, where in my life, I'll ask myself, where am I feeling contracted instead of expanded? Where am I ready to honor myself more fully? You know? And so let's talk a little bit more about the venting cycle because I've been there. We catch ourselves even when we make really great strides towards living in full alignment at all times. Sometimes we're just tired and we need to vent. But if you've been just complaining about the same thing over and over and over again, instead of asking yourself, what can I do for myself right now? This is what I'm speaking to. So let's talk about that cycle of repetition there. Something gentle to consider. How often do we share our frustrations with everyone else except the one person who might help us find a solution, including ourselves? And this isn't about judging ourselves because we do all do this, but venting frequently without action can keep us feeling stuck. But would we share our truth or what feels more aligned with everyone except for the ones that we could potentially create the change with? We're acknowledging how we feel. That is good. That's good. Not saying that's wrong in any way. But the next step is to honor yourself with that loving action, even if it's simply saying no. So your frustrations are actually wise messengers. They're little bells going off, going, this doesn't feel true for me. They're inviting you to lovingly speak up for yourself, or maybe talk to this person about a compromise that helps, that's mutually beneficial and honors everyone. Those Sometimes we get all wrapped up in our head with what's going to happen and what people are going to say. There are other ways. Our brain just loves to run with it and make up the worst case scenario. Maybe explore a compromise that honors everyone. Or sometimes we do just have to make peace with what is and redirect your energy toward what you can influence. So speaking your truth is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and for others. Gently advocating for your needs. There's such strength in being able to say, these are some things that have worked for me that I'd want to share. When met with a situation that needs to be explored with someone else, you can say things like, I'd love to find an approach that works better for both of us. Can we explore this together? I'm realizing I need some support with this. Or if you're just completely at odds on a topic, gently saying, I have a different perspective I'd like to share if you're open to hearing it. And it's okay if they say they're not open to hearing it. That's your answer right there. Or even just very clearly stating, this is touching a boundary for me, or this is bumping up against a boundary for me. I need to pause and recollect and talk through this. So when you advocate for yourself, you're saying to yourself and to the person that you love that you're interacting with, you're saying, I matter. My needs are valid. I deserve to be a part of the conversation about my own life. That's not selfish. That's self-love. So some gentle steps that we can take moving forward. Um, Practice in low steak moments. This is how I was able to kind of make this switch for me, because part of the reason this is so dear to my heart is because I this is a road I've traveled and continue to travel. But when you start with low stakes moments, something as simple as when somebody asks you what you want to eat for dinner or lunch or whatever, instead of saying, "Oh, I don't care, whatever you want," practice saying what you actually want. Or if, I don't know, maybe you're watching TV with someone or you're trying to plan to go see a movie, try to gently share your honest perspective. We don't all have to like the same genre. Or if you're in a moment where you need some space, rather than just pushing it down or pushing through, simply say, "I need a moment." Or excuse yourself to go to the bathroom and give yourself that space to go breathe or whatever you need to do to recenter. And another, very similar to the first one, um, just express your preference instead of always deferring to others. On the small things first, that's perfect. Just use it as a practice run where you feel safe and you feel safe with the person you're interacting with. You're learning to trust your own voice. It's a beautiful thing. So maybe for a week, maybe pick, just one of these little small things to practice. And maybe also just notice with kindness or judgment moments that you hold back how you really feel. Like it's perfect to just set the intention that you'd like to speak up for yourself and maybe just start with noticing. So when something bothers you and you stay quiet, just notice, observe with curiosity and compassion. It's a beautiful, beautiful first step. And if you want, you can journal. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? What do I actually want or need in this situation, even if I don't want to say it out loud yet? Just, you're just writing to yourself, and that's perfectly okay. And then whenever you are advocating for yourself, it's always helpful because you're honoring your feelings and you're honoring your experience. It's always really helpful to use those I statements with the person that you're speaking with. I'm feeling, I'm needing, I'm noticing. For example, I'm feeling really stretched thin and I'm not able to make another commitment at this time. Simple, honest, kind. There's no blame there. It's just honoring where you are and your boundaries, your energetic capacity to not overextend yourself. So, yeah, feel free this week to ask for something you need. Release yourself from an obligation that just doesn't feel as sparkly anymore, that's no longer serving you. Lovingly decline that one thing that depletes your energy and notice what shifts within you. Often, people respect us more when we respect ourselves. Our brain might make up that it's going to be a big whole thing that you said no, and they're like on the other side of it, and they're like, "Oh wow." They might even think I need to practice that more because they watched you model it. You never know. And then also, when it comes back around to the things that we say about ourselves, to others, try to wrap that in a little more kindness, maybe. Kindness to yourself first. So, the benefits of all of these things, the benefits you receive when you do these things that do feel challenging at first, but the more you practice, even if you're practicing alone in your journal or before you even get in front of a person, the more you practice, the more your body recognizes and your spirit, your energy recognizes that it's safe. And it actually has a lot of these benefits here that I made a note of. Deep inner peace. There's no more internal war between who you are and who you're showing up as. You're no longer exhausting yourself maintaining this version of you that isn't quite real, no matter how long you've been living it. When you let go of that, that energy just flows back to you. All the energy you were using to hold that together is now there for you, the real you. Authentic connection with people. People get to know and love the real you, and it's so much more fulfilling. Then you'll attract more people that are meant for you when you're being your true, clear self. Speaking of clear, natural clarity, decisions become easier for you when you ask yourself first and you trust what truly aligns with your heart. The rest of it gets real foggy compared to what you really want when you give yourself the opportunity to think about it and feel into it. And then your self-trust grows. Each time you honor your truth, you prove to yourself that you're worthy, and you are divinely, ultimately, always worthy. Your nervous system can relax and exhale. Your muscles can just take a load off. And then your energy being so clear, solutions tend to show up. You become someone that moves towards solutions instead of like being scared or stuck or not knowing what to do because there's so many opinions. When you get clear on what is best for you and what you want, there's really nothing holding you back from getting stuff done. The peace comes from this alignment. When your inner world matches your outer world, there's nothing to defend or hide. You can just be yourself. It's so freeing. I invite you to just try a couple of these things. If you don't already, I bet plenty of you in here already are feeling wonderful about how good you take care of yourself and advocate for yourself. And I'm so glad. The living your truth doesn't mean being harsh or unfiltered or being a jerk. It means loving yourself enough to show up authentically, communicate with kindness and clarity, and make decisions for yourself that align with what matters most to you. It's the difference between performing your life, practically being a puppet, and actually living it. The Pinocchio story, right? I'm not sure I didn't think that part through earlier. I might go chew on that for a minute. The start small, be gentle with yourself. Just practice a little bit internally. And here's what I want you to know and remind you: you didn't come here to make yourself small for everyone else's comfort. You came here to live and enjoy and experience your life authentically, expressing it your way, whatever that is. And that's peace. That's joy. That's ease. That's love. Sometimes it means to kindly ask yourself, what do you need? And have the courage to ask someone for help. The temporary discomfort of speaking up or asking for help will be so worth it because of how much lighter you feel when you let go of the burden of not trusting that it's okay to ask for help. When you stay silent and don't ask for help, that is heavy in your body. And when you recognize There are people out there that want to help me. All I have to do is ask, and they would be delighted to help me. Let yourself know that to be true, you know? So every time you ask for help or advocate for yourself, you're sending the most beautiful soul to your message. I matter. My needs are worthy, and I deserve my own loving care. That's where peace lives. Not avoiding conflict, but knowing that you can show up for yourself with courage and compassion. How does that feel for everyone? We've been doing Thursdays with Thrin for 2 months now. I was so curious how you guys are receiving the topics, how you feel, if you've had any aha moments, or if something that we've talked about is something that maybe stayed with you and you thought about a little bit more. Um, or really any feedback. I'd love to hear if there's topics you want to talk about that you'd like to dig into and discuss. I'd love for you to drop them in the comments, either here on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll definitely keep an eye out for those. And if you have any feedback at all, I would be honored to receive it. This has been such a blessing every Thursday to spend time with you all here. And I look forward to connecting. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. I recently added a new offering to my offerings, a mini session, just a quick 20-minute session. It's an energy reset. So it can be like if you've never done the energy work that I traditionally offer, and you'd like to give, just spend some one-on-one time with me and try one of these mini sessions. It can really be about any topic, anything that you're experiencing or going through, or even if you're just like tired and stressed out and you need a boost. um, these are nurturing, focused sessions on you and what you need in that moment, and designed to help you gently shift back to center, reconnect with this truth that we keep talking about. Restore your peace, restore your clarity. Think of it as a loving recalibration or attunement, or like tuning. I have an instrument I've been playing, tuning an instrument, just a little tweak. Um, I'd love to sit with you, and spend time with you and help in any way that I can. Sometimes we just need a supportive, sacred space, and that's I believe why God put Thursdays with Thread in my heart and in my divine inspiration to create sacred community. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. Yes, please feel free to share the Facebook links or the YouTube links with anyone that you feel would benefit from some sacred community time. As I've mentioned before, this is a quantum space. It's as if we're sitting together physically, no matter when you're watching. The energy is not conformed by time and space in the quantum field. And that's what we're doing together here. We're sitting together, sharing our energy, cultivating peace, talking about important topics about how we can take care of ourselves. And the love that we're co creating every Thursday just ripples out into the world. You can trust that is true. And you may already feel it coming back to you, because the more we put love out into the world, the more comes back to us. It is so magical. Such an honor and blessing to be here. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for joining Thursdays with Thread and watching the replays. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. None of this work is particularly easy, but it's all worth it. So you can find more information in the comments on how to book a energy reset mini session. They're only $22.22, and it will lead you when you go to the offerings page. you can select that and it will take you straight to my calendar and you can pick an open spot. And I look forward to spending time with you one-on-one. So much love to you. Until next week, take good care of yourself. I love you.